We are live.
Yeah.
Hello, Gisela. Hello, everyone. Welcome to your
Hi.
welcome to your Peru July Unsettled Live Google Hangouts. Nice to meet you all, and really nice to have you here today with us. Some important things before we get started. We are on a 1 minute delay, and you can ask questions and say hi through the chat feature that's on the right. There's a lot of information going on this call. We will send a few important emails that we provide specific arrival instructions at the airport, an agenda for the first few days, addresses, and much more. So please bear with us during this call, and you'll get all the important information in writing in the next few days. So before we start, we should start introducing ourselves. So Gisela, do you want to start?
Yes, of course. Well, hi to all of you. My name is Gisela. I will be your location manager. I'm half Peruvian and half Ecuadorian. I've lived in Ecuador for 14 years, and since the year 2000, I came back to live in Lima. That is a city I really like a lot. Here, I study psychology. I work in human resources for several years until I decided to leave the corporate life and became a psychotherapist full time. But in that same time, I casually began working in hospitality, and I realized I could work in both fields at the same time, and that is a really great match. So I keep doing that right now, and well, I love cats, and that's all that I have to say right now. You, Clara?
Nice. Well, first of all, Angie, hello. Hi there. So I'm Clara. I will be your experience leader this month. I'm in Buenos Aires right now. I'm from Buenos Aires, born and raised. I started working for Unsettled in February, and I've been part of the Unsettled team here in Buenos Aires in March, April, and May. I was also a participant in Bali in September last year. I'm so excited to join us in Peru next month. This is going to be an amazing trip. So first and foremost, let's set the agenda for today. We are going to have a lot of fun stuff to go over. First and foremost, we're gonna meet each other. We're gonna talk about who our group is. We're gonna talk about our shared purpose. That's why are we all here. Some information on arrival in Lima, accommodations, work and co-working, communications, the first few days. We're talking about our Sacred Valley adventure, which is very exciting, some kind of Peru general logistics and next step. So before we move on to the agenda, let's have some fun. So Unsettled is all about people. So let's take a moment and talk about who you are. We have a fun group of super interesting people coming together from all around the world to join us this month in Peru. So first, it's important to know that we have a good size group of about 23 people in total, including the Unsettled team. Our average age is somewhere around 37, but the range is late 20s to mid 50s. Our gender ratio is more women than men. And now, so where are we all from? We are from all over the world. We definitely have a multicultural community. So Gisela, do you want to start to tell us where everyone's coming from?
Yes, of course. We have people coming from USA.
Also from New Zealand, Singapore, Australia.
We have from Germany, UK, Ireland, Croatia, Romania.
From Turkey, from Bahrain.
And from South Africa.
Yes, so definitely from all around the world. And now let's talk about what do you all do? We have a wide range of professional expertise. So our group includes human resources professional, a marketing expert, a business consultant, a DevOps engineer, copywriters, content marketers, digital storytellers, new economy developers, and residential property market experts. We have a number of entrepreneurs and leaders in the business world and much more. We have people that are into sports, into salsa dancing. We have an opera singer, a guitar player, hikers, and yoga lovers. So Lots of diversity over here. We have a good balance of social levels. We have overwhelming, this is a crew that likes to host dinner parties. And a lot of you said that you're highly social. We have a good range of anticipated working hours per week and working times. So we should prepare for productive variety as everyone finds their own working routine. And one last thing that I would love to share with you is your spirit animals. So we asked everyone in our survey about the different types of spirit animals we had in this group, and this is what we found. So very interesting is that we have a couple of pairs. So we have 2 bears, 2 elephants, 2 butterflies, 2 dogs. We have a leopard. We have some water animals. We have a fish, a turtle, and some air creatures. So a few different birds, an owl, a peacock, and even a dragon. So also a lot of variety in here. So Gisela, do you want to share with us your spirit animal?
Yes, of course. Without any doubt, my spirit animal is a cat. I like them to be independent. I'm very curious. I fall asleep very easy, but also I can be alert whenever I want. And I like to have my own space, but also I like to be surrounded by people. And which is your spirit animal, Clara?
Well, so when I was asked this question for the first time in my survey for Bali, I said I was a migratory bird. And I kept it for a long time. Until then, I realized that I was a hummingbird, because hummingbirds go from one tree to another, from one idea to another, from one path to another, following their curiosity. So just as cats, hummingbirds are very curious. So that's why I'm a hummingbird. So yeah, that's it. So a side note, all of this info came from your experience design survey. So if you haven't sent them to us, please do ASAP, because we have very important info to get from there. So let's get back to our agenda, since we have a lot to go through. So you've heard that this is a diverse group. We have different spirit animals, different professional backgrounds, coming from all over the world. Everyone is coming for different reasons. Some people want to focus on a specific project or a specific activity. People want to rediscover their identity, be more productive, practice mindfulness, very different things. But we come together this month or these few weeks to break out of our routine, to live life a little differently, to be more adventurous, and to live a little bit more boldly. So this month is all about you. This Unsettled experience is your experience, is a co-created environment where we can be ourselves as we step into the unknown. So now let's talk a little bit more about airport arrivals. We definitely know that this is a lot of info to give in a group call. So just soak it in for now, and all of these details and much more will be sent in a follow-on email. So people will be arriving throughout the day on June the 30th. So that's our start date. Some useful tips. When you go through customs, you will be given an immigration form, which is called Tarjeta Andina de Migración. So the immigration officer who stamps your passport will take the upper part of the card, and it's important for you to hold on to the other part, which you hand in when you leave the country. And if you lose it, you will have to pay a fee to replace it. And once you clear customs and exit the doors from the international arrival gates, you will have drivers picking everyone up at the airport. The driver will be waiting for you with an Unsettled sign, and he'll also have your name to confirm you on the list. There are going to be a few people on the same flight, maybe so around the same time. Just look for some friendly faces. So when you find your driver, they might tell you in their cute Spanglish that they are waiting for someone else. So the waits are usually not more than 30 minutes. So just take a moment to relax, Peruvian style. And depending on traffic, it should take about an hour to arrive to the Unsettled apartments. And if you're sharing a cab with another participant, just enjoy the ride together. Some final notes. If you, for any reason, cannot find the person holding the Unsettled sign, please give them a couple of minutes. If you still don't see them after a while, contact us via Slack or the emergency WhatsApp number, which we'll send to you in a couple of days. The airport has free Wi-Fi, and in case you cannot connect, you can always have someone around to use their phone or to share the Wi-Fi with you. And also, very important, on the second floor of the airport, there are several cafes which also have Wi-Fi as backup. Remember, once again, all of this will go in a follow-on email closer towards your arrival. So save that email info to have on hand. So getting to Lima is step one. Now let's talk a little bit more about what to expect when you get to Lima. So Gisela, do you want to talk about a little bit about the neighborhood?
Yes, of course. Our Lima apartments are spread in the beautiful Miraflores area of Lima, that is also where I live. This is arguably Lima's nicest neighborhood. Miraflores is filled with parks, restaurants, bars, shopping, and a praying Caribbean Guatapuyana. The apartments are within walking distance to the number of beautiful parks, museum, and the ocean, and they are located about 10 minutes from each other and 10 minutes walk from co-working space. Apartment specific information. In each apartment, you will have all the basic necessities you should need, like linen, towels, things like Wi-Fi, kitchen, pots, and utensils. This isn't to say that you will have everything you want. So if you know you want coffee brew particularly way, bring your coffee maker along. If you want a nice fruit, something, a smoothie every day, great, bring handheld blender along. You should definitely do your part to make the apartment even more accommodating and home life by bringing anything you really need to be comfortable. Different buildings have a few extra facilities. A small gym, one more get a membership, pool, some rooftop spaces. We can also reserve for $50 in order to use the barbecue, laundry service. The reasonable price is almost 10 soles per 3 kilograms of clothes. Expectations to set: no air conditioner. Here in Lima, we don't use it. You will have fans, but the moderate climates means that pretty AC and heating are in the apartment. Air conditioning in home is not common anywhere in Lima.
Perfect. Thank you so much for that. So, guys, if you have any questions, please don't hesitate and put them in the chat here in the right. So now let's talk a little bit more about work and co-working. Everyone sets their own schedule and does them, and that's perfectly fine. Our co-working partner is called Residencia, which is only a 10-minute walk from our apartments. It's a very cool space. It's a house that was like transformed into a working space. It's very relaxing, not too formal. And it also has an outdoor space where you can take calls, stretch your legs, and get some fresh air. It's very zen, very playful, and there's even a slide for you to play. So it's amazing. There's very flexible staff. They're really, really there to help us. And we have 24-hour access, which is really good if you have maybe some calls or meetings in different time zones. So this co-working space will often be used for our weekly community-led workshops and Unsettled lunch and learns. This will minimize travel time and allow more work. So you can pop into a workshop between or after your work session. Off hours, you can also work from home or go to a cafe. Just go exploring the beautiful cafes that there are there in Miraflores. So Gisela, do you want to tell us a little bit more about transportation in Lima?
Yes, getting around just like in your regular life back home, you are responsible for your own transportation this month. Transport around Lima is much like any other big city, and there's a few different options for you. Walking neighborhoods are generally walkable, but getting from neighborhood to neighborhood much quickly to hop in a cab. Taxis, we really suggest to never pick up a taxi on the street. You can call Cabify, slightly pricier but nicer and safer, and check location guide. Bike individual option. Rental information is in the location guide, and you can rent for a day, week, or all 3 weeks. City is certain to bike more, but recognize you don't have the right away, and you need to be aware when cycling through the city. It's not Amsterdam. Metro, buses, public transportation is available. 2 main public transport above and below ground. Clothing market way far out. This would be quick option. City buses sometimes bus stops, sometimes not. Probably won't take, but might do it just to explore and for an adventure. Very local, but make sure you are not in a rush.
Perfect. So now let's talk a little bit more about communications. So throughout the month, Slack will be our main use of communication. It's super, super friendly for those who aren't so familiar and will be really helpful for helping us organize our communication. We will launch Slack the week before everyone arrives, and we'll send out an email with instructions on how to join. Feel free to get downloaded Slack before them, watch some tutorials, and check it out to get comfortable with it before we launch our Slack team if you want. So the most important things for you to know now is, first, we recommend you downloading the app on your phone and desktop. Otherwise, you will be in the dark about what's going on. By default, most notifications are off when you get started in Slack. If you really need someone's attention, tag them or send them a direct message, and you can tag them using the @ symbol in their name. So also, if you create a new channel, please, please, please make sure you add everyone in. So now let's talk a little bit more about the calendar and what's going to happen in the first few days. Just like the arrival info, you will receive more information in follow-on emails, including a Google Calendar. But to set the stage for the first weeks, here are the main events. On Saturday, we're going to have our arrival and check-in, and the rest of the day, it's absolutely yours. On Sunday, we're going to have an orientation morning at our co-working space, Residencia, which is we're going to go over the month. And so on Monday, the day is yours to get started on your regular work schedule. In the evening, we will come together, and Unsettled will be hosting the first family dinner to welcome us all in Lima. On Tuesday, we don't have scheduled events. Those stuff will surely be happening around. On Wednesday, we're gonna have our first lunch and learn. This will be every Wednesday during lunchtime, in which I will be running different programs and workshops focused on a number of topics to help support us living unsettled this month. The first one will be a very important one. It is our community design session, where we'll be going to build out our calendar a bit more. Plan to come to learn a little bit more about each other and to see all the opportunities we have for interesting exchanges this month. And Thursday and Friday, on these days towards the end of the week, we will have our first mini adventure, which is going to be a cultural city walk to explore Lima with a local expert. It will be in the evening, so those working can hopefully attend. Overall, as you can see, this will be a mix of scheduled events and open days. But again, it's Lima. There will be plenty of things to do to keep you busy, workshops and adventures every week, and lots of intentional white space for you to focus on what you really want to get out of this city and this experience. So let's move on to the adventure part of the month, and this is the Sacred Valley Adventure. So no trip to Peru is complete without spending some time in this beautiful and special and historical part of the country. This was the sacred land and the founding cradle of the Inca civilization. A side fun fact, Machu Picchu was discovered on July the 24th, 1911. We will be there on July the 23rd, one day before the 107th anniversary of its discovery in modern time. It is really cool for us to connect to the original explorer energy. So we are going to send a much more detailed adventure guide, but for now, our rough itinerary is Gisela, do you want to start?
Yes, on Saturday, yes, of course. On Saturday, 21, we head to the Sacred Valley. Early flight from Lima.
Yes, and then we will make our way to Urubamba, which will be our home base for the first half of the trip, and we will take a day to acclimate over there.
Yes, and from there we head to Aguas Calientes. This will be our launching point to Machu Picchu. We travel there by train, plus the train ride is really beautiful. We're gonna see like a very amazing landscape.
Nice. And then our Machu Picchu day is going to be a super early start. We have access to the full site. And if it's very important to know that you can only enter with a guide, and we have a set enter time and exit time. So we want to make the most out of this amazing day.
Yes, afterwards, we head back to Urubamba to rest.
And then we are going to make our way to Cusco for the next few days of exploration. We have in Cusco a total of 4 nights and 3.5 days. These days will include some optional group stuff and plenty of time for independent explorations. We will for sure be organizing at least one more great hike from Cusco, but please do some research about sites and things you want to explore and just share them with us. And our last day, it will be Sunday the 28th. We will head back to Lima via flight, so you can catch your own ward travel. So there's some more things that are very important to know about our Sacred Valley Adventure Week. As I told you, an adventure guide will be coming your way, and a packing list has been sent to you for both Lima and Sacred Valley. Do you want to share some logistics for Sacred Valley, Gisela? What do you think?
Yes, of course. Since we will be traveling as a group, and there are certain times we need to make, like the train, the park tour, Machu Picchu entry time, it will take some coordination for us to travel as a group to Machu Picchu is remote. We need to take a bus and a train to get there, then a shuttle to the actual site. These transportation times are not flexible, so need to be on time. Keep in mind, it's high season, so things may be busy, and this is one more reason we want to stick to our time.
Yes, exactly. Very important to be on time. Also, yes. Our flights there and back are booked, so be prepared for some early mornings, but worth it to get the most of our times. Gisela, what about passports? Is anything
yes, passports?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, passports are going to be needed a few times on flights, of course, train, check-in into our hotels, and even to enter Machu Picchu.
Great. So just take your passports to Sacred Valley. This is very important. Altitude. Altitude is a real thing. So please take it easy the first 3 days. You just need 2 or 3 quiet days or just some time to adjust. Everyone reacts differently to this. This is not something to worry about. And there is nothing you can do beforehand, but just keep that in mind. It's a very there are lots of hills in the region, so eat lightly, drink a lot of water, and take it easy the first few days. Gisela, do you want to share with us a little bit more about the hotels in Sacred Valley, in Urubamba, in Aguascalientes?
Yes, of course. In Urubamba, Aguascalientes, and Cusco, we will be in hotels. They are all pretty centrally located in each city to give you access to the surrounding areas, cute towns, and great nearby cities.
Perfect. And regarding co-working for the Sacred Valley Adventure, they're not going to be co-working spaces. So this is the adventure part of our month. Do your best to disengage from your professional responsibilities and give yourself some time and space to enjoy being in this special part of the world. Take the time now to set that expectation and finish any lingering projects so you can effectively disconnect. Plus, it's in the middle of Peru, and I can't emphasize that enough. You will not have constant connectivity, and that is part of the fun, right? Gisela, what do you think?
Yes, of course. We have to learn to disconnect also sometimes.
Perfect. So, Gisela, do you want to go through some common questions that we might have?
Yes, of course. About, well, first of all, about vaccinations, you need to consult your own doctor. Visa, look it up, please. Everyone is responsible for their own visa. We cannot emphasize this enough. Make sure your passport is valid for at least 6 months. Please do your own research on your visas. Do not need a transit visa. Do it if you look if you need for a transit visa if you are going out of an airport in another country. Credit cards are generally used here in Peru mostly, but some places only take cash, especially if you're going to a small establishment or local market. In Lima, here, vendors often accept dollars, but you may not get the best exchange rate. In the street, you will find people identify with best that say they are local changers, but they are not 100% trustable. The best option is to go to an exchange house where you will receive a good change for your dollars, and they are reliable. We have one located in Tarate Street, a couple blocks from the apartment, which we can talk about during the orientation. Probably bring a couple $100 in cash so you have what you need for the month. But you all know your spending habits best, so do some assessment for you. Don't drink water from the sink, please. Not even us Peruvians do this because it can be risky. So you will have a 20-liter jug that probably get you through the first week, and we will give you a delivery number to set up, and it is cheap. Pisco sour is our traditional drink. We all love them. And it is
I
made
love
with
them too. I love them too.
Yeah, we do, but we know we have to be very careful with it because it's made with raw egg, white. So you have to take it from a reputable establishment, not a hole in the wall. And no matter how good they taste, I strongly recommend you only to drink 2, not more, because after 3, problem can begin.
Things can get a little bit complicated, guys.
Exactly. So please no more than 2 per day. And when asking for direction, don't expect a straight answer. Culture that Peru don't say, I don't know. It's not because we're mean, it's because we are too good and we always want to help. And for us, it's hard to say, I don't know.
Yeah, I think people is too kind, right? They are too kind.
Exactly, we are too kind. So for us, it's hard to say, I don't know. So I strongly recommend you to check twice when you ask for directions to somebody.
Okay, great. So that's very, 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 very useful information, Gisela. Thank you so much. And so a few more expectations that are important to set. Unsettled is not a tourism company. This is a co-working and a co-living retreat adventure. So please recognize the distinction in this unique 2-part month. So Lima will be not as Sacred Valley and vice versa. We are not going to book some personal tours for wherever you want to go. So just remember to do your own research and get local knowledge, ask tour operators, and call around. So our entire staff from us on the ground, all the people that are there to support the neck board all around the world, we are all focused on making sure that you have a great month in terms of 3 things. The activities, conversations, and workshops we do as a group, making sure that that you are able to work productively, and making sure your home in this month is comfortable and that everything is okay with you. So that said, we don't work 24/7 for 30 days, and we are not like travel concierges. So we will participate as much as anyone. So you can imagine how all of this adds up for a busy month if we have almost 25 people. So another thing that's very important is that your safety is always, always on you. So please do your research ahead of time, and yeah, and just be informed if there's anything else you want to know or anything else you must need to know. So guys, any questions? I see we have one. Okay, so I'd love to visit. Hi, Angie. First and foremost, I'd love to visit local rivers nearby Cusco. Yes, let's start just investigating and doing some research on all of the things that we want to do. Cusco has so many activities that can be done. So yes, let's start doing some research. And then we have a question about, hi, Danny, you asked about the luggage restrictions for the flights from Lima to Sacred Valley. And yes, we have one checked bag per person that cannot weigh more than 20 kilos and a personal item that weighs less than 6 kilos. So we have any other questions, guys? I'm going to give you a couple of minutes for you to ask some questions. And if not, you will be receiving all of this information and much more in the follow-on emails. Info on arrival, addresses, the agenda, the Google Calendar, and many, many, many things. So I'm going to walk you through the next steps. If there are no questions, please fill the two surveys that we've shared. That is the arrival info and the experience design survey. Not having this survey could impact on your trip. For example, if we don't know in advance when are you going to be landing, we cannot arrange airport pickup for you. And emailing us your flight isn't enough. We just need, please, you to fill the survey. We're going to share a Google Calendar with events that Unsettled is running this month, and this will come before the arrival. So, and yes, once we've have all the surveys. So please complete them. We will launch the Slack group the week before our arrival day. To help with productivity and connectivity, let's talk about the SIM cards. Please be sure to unlock your phone before heading to Peru. We will load with some data in your SIM cards, and then you can top up throughout the month. You may want to keep your local provider number and pay international roaming. That's definitely up to you. Please feel free to do some research on your own about travel to Peru. The more resources that we have to share, the better. So see if you can collect all the ideas, but not get too stuck into the plan. And then we can have some time like to create here on the ground. Let's take some time to think about our goals for the trip starting now. Just quick check-ins are essential throughout the trip to assess everything is going on in Peru and to make changes if needed, but it can be nice to start with some longer and larger intentions as starting from now. Please start thinking about your workshop ideas or how you want to contribute. We have limited time in Lima, so please feel free to get started before your arrival. If you have an idea and want to bounce it to someone or refine it, just shoot us an email and we are here for you. So yeah, it's very important for you guys to get started with your intentions and your goals and the things that you want to work during this month. So we're having some more questions. Advice on altitude sickness. Yes, so as I said before, I think it's very important for you to be hydrated and to eat lightly and take it easy. So the first few days, just take it easy, don't rush, don't do like any kind of hard exercise. And then, yes, I think you'll be fine with that. Gisela, do you have any suggestions regarding that?
Well, yes, we will be exploring the city on foot, on bike, by train, and more, soaking up the incredible fruit, architecture, monuments, music, and museums. In the meantime, get excited about meeting each other and being in Peru. Take the time to think about your goals in this trip. Do some research. Really, Peru, it's not because I'm Peruvian, but it is a very interesting city that has a lot where we can learn from about different cultures, about food, about really a lot of things. Bring something from home to share with us, food, drinks, whatever. And we can really wait to see all the crew here in Peru.
Yes, and do you have any advice on altitude sickness, like anything the guys can start?
Well, really, not right now, no. But once we get there in Cusco, you should eat very lightly. Like just the first day will be ideal just to drink a soup, not more, and to rest.
Okay, yeah. That's a very good advice. Thank you for that.
Yeah,
and also let's see. Danny, if we fly out a day later from Lima, then we arrive from the Sacred Valley. Should we organize our own accommodations last night? Yes, so the flight back from the Sacred Valley to Lima gets in the morning to arrive, so that allows people to book flights and to maybe to fly that same afternoon or night. And yes, in that case, if you want to stay, you can organize your accommodations over there. Exactly. So yes. Do we have any other questions, guys? Maybe before we wrap up these amazing hangouts. So Gisela, can you share with us how's the weather right now?
Well, right now, as you can see, I'm using a jacket here. It's very cold. They say the most cold that we'll get is 14 centigrades. I know it doesn't sound very cold, but what happened here is that we have a lot of humidity. It's 100%. So it gets cold.
Wow, yeah, I can see that. Oh, sorry, Liz, I didn't see your question. Would it be possible to know who our flatmate will be? So maybe we can reach out prior. So you are going to meet your flatmate when you arrive to Lima, because we like to save some surprises for you guys. So you are going to start connecting with each other through Slack a couple of days before. But yes, your flatmate, you will meet them there. Leah, hi, you have another question. For Lima at night for restaurants and bars, does the no sandal policy also apply for women? Why do you think, Gisela? What do you think?
Well, it's too cold to go in sandals, really, right now. But no, it depends. Where are you going? It is a very fancy place. Yes, of course, you will have a sandals policy, but really, right now, the weather is cold. So I recommend you to bring closed shoes.
Okay, that's very good to know. I was already preparing my dresses, so I don't think we're gonna have a lot of time and weather for dresses. So I don't think we have any other questions. So as Gisela said before, we're gonna be exploring the city on foot, on bike, on train. We're gonna take all in the food, the architecture, the monuments. There's so many things to do in Peru, in Lima, in the Sacred Valley. So in the meantime, just get excited about meeting each other and being in Peru. Oh, we have one more question, Danny. For the hotels in the Sacred Valley, should we bring towels? Gisela, can you help us with that?
No. They're going to give us towels.
Okay, perfect. That's very good to know. So yes, just take some time for now. Start thinking on your goals, on your intentions, on the things you want to explore about yourself, about Peru, about the culture, about other people. Just start feeling it. And yes, please do some research. And I think a very nice thing is if you would like to bring something from your home to share with us, some food, some drinks, and anything you want to share. Okay, so more questions. Airport pickup. Okay, yes, Ralu, yes. So we will be sending information on airport pickups in a couple of days, and we will inform you according to your arrival day if someone will be able to pick you up and or not. Okay, according to the day that you arrive. Oh, we have a really nice question here. Gisela, do you speak Quechua by any chance?
No, really, I do not. But well, there's some people here who does, but it's like a really, well, it's a very antique language. And not even in Cusco, like all people talk Quechua. Like most of people that speak Quechua, like live like in the like outside of the city. But we can find someone who does it in Cusco. I'm sure.
Nice. That would be so amazing. So guys, if you don't have any other questions, by the way, these have been really interesting questions, really good ones. Yeah. We can end our Google Hangouts right now, and please do some research, work on your intentions, get excited. I'm already very, very, very excited, and we can't wait to see you soon. I'm so happy that we will be all spending a month together, exploring the city. And yes, I'm very excited and I'm very happy that we're going to be all together. So this is goodbye for us for now. See you soon. And bye. It was beautiful. I can't wait to see you guys. Bye, Gisela.